Hello YouTube, Film Buff 06 here, coming your way with another review slash rant, this time on the 1997 film Mad City, which was directed by this guy that I've never even heard of, to be honest, called Costa Gavras. And as you can tell from the cover, it stars two of the finest Hollywood actors of their generation, Dustin Hoffman and John Travolta. Apparently this film was partly inspired by the classic 1951 Billy Wilder film Ace in the Hole, which featured Kirk Douglas. Now the plot to this movie goes like this: that Dustin Hoffman and John Travolta team up with award-winning filmmaker Costa Gavras in a fierce tale of ratings-driven TV news gone mad. Travolta stars as this guy called Sam Bailey, who is a misguided museum guard who loses his job, then tries to get it back at gunpoint, a la Al Pacino in Dog Day Afternoon. Dustin Hoffman is a local TV news reporter named Max Brackett, who is taken hostage with a bunch of innocent school children and their teacher when Sam locks down the museum. Is a desperate move for Sam, but a career move for Max, for he's on the inside of a live exclusive. Now he must give Sam's story a heroic, noble spin, keep a cynical network news anchor, played by Hawkeye Pierce from MASH himself, Alan Alda, at bay, and above all, keep America watching, most importantly. And as Max pulls the strings, as most of these TV news reporters do, the stakes grow higher, darker, and madder. And that was me writing down the blurb on the back of this DVD, because the copy that I've got, it is photocopied, and I cannot, and it makes it hard for me to read it properly. Makes it hard for me to read this blurb properly, so I had to write the whole thing down. Anyway, that was me, rambling a bit. Anyway, what did I think of Mad City? Oh, what can you possibly say about this film? Other than that I just didn't enjoy this all that much. Well, apart from some decent cinematography and some decent production design going for it, which, by the way, was done by Catherine Hardwicke, who of course went on to direct the first Twilight film. Apart from those two positives, there is there is a lot wrong. There is a lot of problems with this film. The script is The script is written terribly. The story is as generic as you can get, and is an unoriginal rip-off of such better films as Ace in the Hole, Wag the Dog, Network, and even Dog Day Afternoon, and doesn't try to bring anything different to the plate. The direction from Costa Gavras is just limp and lifeless. You have two lead characters that receive no development whatsoever, and are made out to be absolute assholes. You have almost a huge bunch of actors in this film that are just completely squandering their talents. I mean, you have Ted Levine, who of course you might know portray Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. Raymond J. Barry, who was the bad guy in Flubber. Blythe Danner, Robert Prosky, just to name a few supporting actors, as well as Dustin Hoffman and John fucking Travolta. I mean, what were these two doing? I mean, they had much better film roles in their respective careers. I mean, Dustin Hoffman, he played Benjamin Braddock in The Graduate. He was in Marathon Man. He was in Kramer versus Kramer. He was in Rain Man. He was in Tootsie. And heck, he was even Oscar nominated for playing this for basically portraying the same role as he does here, but even better in Wag the Dog. But in this, what was he thinking? Because Hoffman just seemed bored in his performance, like he just didn't want to be here at all. And John Travolta, what the fuck was he thinking? Because he started out, when he started out, he was in Saturday Night Live. No, not Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Fever, sorry. He was even in Grease as Danny Zuko. And he even made a career comeback in Pulp Fiction before going on to be in such crap as this, unfortunately, Old Dogs, and even possibly the worst film of all time, Battlefield Earth. In this, he was just going through the motions in his performance. His performance was such a mess that you just cannot believe it. And the script is this, and the story itself is an unoriginal rip-off. No, I've said that. Sorry, I just do not want to repeat myself. Sorry. And this film is about 107 minutes long, which is surprisingly about as long as Flood, but I was kind of mildly bored by this. There's just nothing original happening in this film, and it just almost felt as much of a waste of my time as Flood was, and it's not the worst film I've ever seen, but it's pretty damn forgettable, which is a shame. There is just nothing much that I have to say about this film, so I'm just going to conclude that my rating for this film is at best going to be just a generous 3 out of 10 for the saving graces being the cinematography and the production design. But everything else about Mad City, fuck it. Now, feel free to leave a comment in the section below and let me know your thoughts on this film and Dustin Hoffman and John Travolta. Plus, feel free to subscribe to my channel. And until my next video, which is going to be my first ever DVD collection update video for January 2014. Do take care, everyone, and goodbye.